If you run a podcast with frequent people interviews, you know the drill. For each guest, you spend a lot of time researching their background to develop key talking points, a questionnaire, and more. The AI workflow I'm sharing today will help automate this entire process. Here's how it works. First, the workflow uses a human input node to gather basic information about the guest and the episode. This includes the guest's name, profile URLs like personal websites and social media, and the podcast episode's theme. Next, we perform comprehensive background research on the guest using the profile URLs collected. The challenge here is that with so many websites, each with its own quirks, generic web scrapers and AI tools often struggle to handle the complexities. For example, our MindPal agents do have built-in web scraping for standard websites. However, many data-heavy websites, especially platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram, have strong blocking mechanisms, making scraping difficult. But I have a solution. With Model Context Protocol, or MCP, you can integrate specialized web scrapers for each social media platform. This allows your AI agent to scrape websites effectively and reliably. In this case, the podcast guest researcher agent, responsible for background research, accesses not only MindPal's built-in scraper, but also Apify MCP, which brings in scrapers for LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and more. To connect your Apify MCP, simply go to your agent's integration section, where you can access the MCP section. If you're not familiar, Apify is a marketplace with thousands of specialized web scrapers. They excel at building niche tools designed to handle the unique characteristics of different sites. They offer scrapers across many categories, and you'll easily find scrapers for Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. This is perfect for podcast guest research, as provided profile URLs can vary greatly. Because Apify offers its own remote MCP servers, you can easily bring it to MindPal with a super simple setup. First, add a new remote MCP with Apify's base URL, mcp.apify.com. Then, specify which actors this MCP will bring into your AI agent on MindPal. Since Apify has many web scrapers, it's best not to import them all, as this can overwhelm the AI's context. Instead, specify the exact scrapers you need. In this case, I need the LinkedIn profile scraper, YouTube scraper, and Instagram scraper. You could also add other scrapers like TikTok, Twitter, or other sites, depending on your needs. For a deeper dive into setting up Apify MCP, check out our previous video on creating AI agents powered by Apify MCP. Once you validate the MCP server, you'll see that it has successfully imported the necessary tools for your AI agent: the LinkedIn profile scraper, YouTube scraper, and Instagram scraper. Now that the AI agent is connected to Apify MCP, you can provide specific instructions on how to use these tools. Essentially, I've defined a clear task execution process. The AI starts by thoroughly examining each profile, using MindPal's built-in scraper for conventional websites and Apify MCP for specialized social media sites. It focuses on details relevant to the podcast episode's theme, synthesizes the gathered information, and identifies areas of interest. That's it. This step is now properly set up. After gathering the guest's background research, we generate a podcast outline and questionnaire based on the episode theme and the guest research from the previous step. Thanks to MindPal's ability to reference previous AI responses, you can easily incorporate the guest background research in this step. When the workflow runs, the outline and questionnaire generation step will automatically access the previous research to create relevant content. Finally, I have a step to generate the podcast interaction script for the episode. This is the process I typically use. Depending on your podcast design, you might need additional materials or want to further refine how the AI agents perform web searches, background research, or outline and questionnaire generation. But for now, this workflow is sufficient. Let's run it and see how it goes. I'll start a new run and provide some input. For example, the guest's name could be Lenny Richetsky. The guest-provided URLs include his YouTube channel, Instagram, and LinkedIn pages. The podcast episode theme is How Podcasters Can Leverage AI for Their Work. Let's continue. The first step is to kick off the guest background research. As you can see, the AI agent simultaneously launches 3 scrapers, one for LinkedIn, one for YouTube, and one for Instagram. Powered by Apify, these scrapers conduct research in parallel to save time. The YouTube scraper is now complete. Looking at the results, you can see it gathered information on the channel description, total videos, total views, subscribers, and more. The LinkedIn profile scraper is also done, providing information on the About section, interactions, links, location, current company, and more. The Apify Instagram scraper has also finished. With all the information gathered, the AI agent generates an overview, key highlights, and discussion points, as you can see here. Based on this research, the next agent helps us generate a podcast outline and questionnaire, complete with sections and questions to ask the guest during the episode. Finally, the podcast interaction script is created, taking into account the guest information and the podcast theme. And that's it. In just minutes, this AI has helped us gather everything we need to know about the guest to prepare for a productive and successful podcast episode. You can copy this AI automation recipe and apply it not only to your podcast, but also to any interviews or activities that involve researching people. Remember that Apify offers many more powerful scrapers beyond social media, covering a wide range of sources. By leveraging Apify's web-scale scraping capabilities, the context-aware intelligence of your AI agents on MindPal, and the ability to connect multiple AI agents into a coherent workflow with MindPal, you can automate literally many complex, research-heavy processes in your business. So, give it a try and happy automating.